back. Another segment of 120 Seconds, gathering interview number 2. This time I sat down with Clifton Derrell. He's currently on Stormrook Entertainment, which is V Sinister's label. He's in a group called Bars with V Sinister, Tier Diaz, Zitro, and him. And he goes way back from my old school juggalos. 2003, the first outdoor gathering, he won the MC contest. And then he main staged 04, 05, 06. And we talked about that in the interview. He was formerly Killer Cat. Now he goes just by his government name, which is Clifton Derrell. One quick story. We were hanging out, I think the day after this interview. He pulls up the timeline. He says, "What's this ship of fools? It says there's some sort of rap battle over there." And Clifton is a battle rapper. It's what he does. And I said, "Let's go over there." I don't know the ship of fools guys. At least I didn't. Shout out to the tall dude, Adam, I believe his name is. But I do know the Clockwork guys, and I knew they were over there. So I kind of wedged my way into letting him enter, because they said, "Hey, does he have a track?" I said, "No." And then Kyle of Clockwork is like, "Look, I got a beat." I said, "If you can just loop the beat, he can spit." And they were like, "All right, let's give it a whirl." And he went up there, and shout out to the Deck One Delt guys for their dope track, who got second. It was deserved for them to get second without question. I feel like no question it was those two as the top two. But yeah, so Clifton Derrell won that MC contest, and I can't remember if it was Kyle or Billy from Clockwork. One of them said, "Man, I saw Stocko walking over here with some dude, and he was trying to get him in, and I knew that dude was gonna win." So I don't back bullshit, guys. But yeah, after that, he walked over to the actual official gathering MC contest, and he got second. Okay, so he's no fucking joke. Clifton Derrell is a dope MC. Again, we talked about his newest album. I'll put all the links below as always. Please check out the interview with Clifton Derrell, whose audio is mostly really good. So I think, in my memory. But thanks for checking these out, everybody. I'll post more as I get them. As I finish them, I'll just keep posting them. Thanks.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another segment of 120 Seconds. I'm sitting with Clifton Derrell. And the truth is that I even prepared him for it. And I said, "Hey, I always start an interview with explain yourself to somebody who's never heard of you in 120 seconds. But the fact is now that I'm remembering the way that I had formulated this interview, I didn't want to do that with you, which is rare.
Oh.
Okay, because I want to start and end at a specific spot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Killer Cat, Cataclysmic, Clifton Derrell. All right, okay? And so, again, I just want, just as an informative thing to everybody here, this is Clifton Derrell. He was formerly Killer Cat, and I do want to get into his accolades as Killer Cat, his accolades as Cataclysmic, and who he is now. But let's just talk from your perspective, the reason for kind of the name changes. Let's just keep it simple for now.
Just to keep it simple, Killer Cat, Cataclysmic, Clifton Derrell. In that pattern, you pretty much get the story. Killer Cat was my angry phase. I was mad, upset, mad, crazy, mad. Just had all these emotions bottled up, and that was my release, my form of therapy.
Okay.
Cataclysmic was me coming down, actually trying to find who I was, because with everything else, with people, I guess I could just say myself, I get into character. It's not a character anymore. It becomes who I am.
Okay.
And those bits and pieces of Killer Cat, as I grew older, started to wear. It's like, man, I'm getting older. I can't just go around just starting fights and getting ready to do all this wild and crazy stuff that I learned. So let me calm down. So I got into Cataclysmic, and it was a more milder version. It was still a little bit of anger. It was still a little intense, but not as intense. And so I slowly started to find who I am. And Clifton Derrell is the sum of everything that I have become.
Okay. And for the record, Clifton Derrell is the government.
That's my real
the
name.
government name.
That's my real name.
Okay. So again, and I don't want to get too far into it for me, but there have been several situations in my life, throughout my life, where it's kind of been where maybe preferred that I go by a nickname or an alter ego or something And the fact of the matter is that I've kind of just always still been Stockwell, kind of no matter what.
Right.
In the same instance, it's to quote Everlast, I'm the same motherfucker that I ever was. You know, so like it's still just me. Even if I've made the changes I've made, I'm still Stockwell. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. And again, the reason that I didn't want to really do the 122nd thing again, because I didn't want to get sidetracked, because I feel like your story is a beginning and I don't want to say an end, but right, like linear. Does that make sense?
Progression.
Yeah, right. There you go. There you go. So let's start. And again, I like to get personal because it's just in my nature, and I hope that people find it interesting. But I saw you at the Gathering of Juggalos 2003, which was the first one at Nelson Ledges. So it was the first outdoor gathering, which me and V Sinister, who is your business partner now, was at that time officially on Psychopathic Records, and had just put out Hunting Season prior to that, right?
Did we have this conversation before?
It doesn't matter. All right, I'm not letting my motherfucker in.
With the trap.
All right. So at any rate, he played main stage that night because I fucking remember it. I was there. I remember it. You played remember it's like the wrestling ring second stage for the MC contest, right? Okay. So I remember catching the tail end of that, and I talked to either what's his Knight, right?
Oh, yeah.
I hate to call him by the real names. Anyway, I caught up with somebody because I heard somebody say Illinois or Chicago or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where are you from?" And he was like, "I want to say he said Melrose Park." That's why I don't know why that sticks in my brain.
Yeah, because at the time we were living in the suburbs.
Okay.
That's the thing about Chicago.
No, I know. Yeah. So we're from Illinois. So yeah. So at any rate, that's why I approached you, and I don't remember at all what I said, right? But I remember being like, because look, y'all, as fans of what we do, and there in the MC contest, man, there's a lot of fucking trash, and so when the couple of diamonds there shine extra bright, and I remember being impressed with what he was doing, and then I was not there when you were like awarded winner. So how did that like pan out? Because I wasn't there. Was that Legs? Was the judge who was? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Legs, Fritz, and what was the other one?
So I'm talking about Legs, Diamond,
Fritz, and John.
John, Utzler?
No, it was a different. His name was John. I don't know his last name.
Pickle?
No, it was just a blonde haired guy named John. He was at the year prior to.
I don't remember that dude at all.
Yeah,
when they did the Peoria thing that you won?
John, Fritz, and
Okay. So I was not there when you were awarded awarded the prize or whatever. So let's again, you won 2003 MC contest, winning, and what was the prize? What happened with that?
The prize was two spots, 2 gigs, 2 opening gigs. I believe it was for main stage next year, and for a show to be determined.
Okay.
That show happened to be Dark Lotus, and oh my God. It was like the last time we saw MC Breed alive.
Oh my God!
Like that was crazy.
Yeah, man. A huge Breed mark, and a huge Dark Lotus mark. So like, fuck like that. I wish I'd have been there. You know what I'm saying? And I wish we'd have known each other better. Because oh my God,
that green room was nuts.
Yeah, wow.
Green room.
All right. So where I really caught up with Killer Cat was the following year at 04 at Nelson Ledges. When you headlined the first night, or you played right before Bone Thugs? What was it?
Oh, yeah, it was right before Bone Thugs.
Right, okay, so there was a mystery guest. That's what it was. Clifton Derrell, like the co-headliner, it was Killer Cat. And the Ninja Squad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Killer Cat and the Ninja Squad, and then the mystery guest, which ended up being Bone Thugs. And very, very, like a very vivid memory of that for me, you being up there. Because I remember like, I caught this dude, and I said what's up to him and his guys. And then, like, kind of ignored you for a year, like, like not really real, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And then I saw you up there again, and then that's when I was like, all right, this dude is for real. And so let's kind of talk about that main stage performance.
Oh man, you say electric. At that particular time, we were just getting into our stride, because it's like before it was me, and believe it or not, my boy Skinny Pete, the reason why I got into the MC competition was my boy Skinny Pete dared me to go.
Okay.
It was like,
That year?
yeah.
No, four.
Right. And to make this clear, y'all, why do you think they were at the gathering and entering MC contests? They're fucking juggalos, dude. Like you know what I get a lot of time from people, like I'll get emails and shit or comments on YouTube, and they're like, "What's this got to do with juggalos or whatever?" Right?
Oh man.
Like this motherfucker is a juggalo, and so is this motherfucker. So like that kind of shit.
See, let me tell you what happened. All right, so we was at the ABK release party, right?
I remember
Right?
the Wraith release party at the Metro. I lived down the street.
We were there.
I know. Yeah. All right. So yeah.
You know the whole debacle with that. We was saying we was gonna get like the treatment.
I remember.
We don't know what the hell happened to that show. So we started inviting people up to go up there. Now Skinny Pete's nudging me, he's going like, "Yo, get up there, you do this." I'm like, "No, man, I don't want to do all that." It's like, "Nah." And everybody went up there was like complete, like, if you went up there, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna call it like I see it. It was trash, bro.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But they had way more balls than I did. They went up there.
Okay.
And so my boy challenged me. He was like, "You know what? They're having a gathering." It's like, "For real? What is this?" It's like, and he told me about it. I'm like, "I'm down." We saved mad crazy just to go that year. And I made him a promise that I was going to go into the MC competition. And you, V, were the one that inspired us to do it. You inspired me. It was like, because I was like nervous. I'm like, man, what they don't like black folks.
You won the
previous year.
Yeah, there's some controversy running. I've heard that, but they don't got nothing. This is your
It's true.
Right? Don't let that dude get started.
Man, look.
I'm just saying.
It's about y'all.
So and again, I'm being like you were progression. I have a progression to my interview here, and it's that we hooked up personally, you and I, not on the sexual level, as weird as that sounded. You can't say that shit. But we ended up hooking up. I hosted shows in my area, and I reached out because I was impressed with that main stage performance at the gathering. And again, I used to host a series of shows, Wicked Underground Music Festivals.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had kind of the names of names. We had like PLC, Ruthless, who rolled with PLC at that time, was Lunatics. Killer Cat, Daniel Saltine, who we just touched on earlier, V Sinister. Like at that time, the dudes that were gruesome, just a bunch of dudes like that are. I don't know, you call them unsung and you know what? C-Mob showed up. C-Mob is like a staple now in Tech Nine's fucking discography, and C-Mob made an appearance once. You know what? We had what I consider really strong shows, man. I don't mean.
This is your interview, but I want to put you on the spot. Where's the next? Where's the next one?
Never.
Where's the next one?
All right. So, where I want to go is a little bit of kind of maybe what you were talking about. So a couple years later, we go to a gathering, and it's in a fucking cow shit fest infested rainy ass.
Pig farm.
Yeah, so the fucking if you're an old school juggalo, it's a gathering of the Muddalos.
Swan binges.
Man, it really was that. So Clifton and his crew and me and my crew at that time, we basically were camped adjacent, if you will, and I saw the misery on your face.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, starting at that gathering, for me personally, from my from my perspective, when we were doing Nelson Ledges gatherings or Peoria gatherings, when it was main stage time, that is what everybody did. It didn't matter who was opening. Once it was main stage, that was that. Everybody was at the fucking main stage.
Yeah.
And I would say starting with that Muddalo gathering, that was not the case. And I think maybe it was just the fact that it was kind of a bitch to literally walk from one side to the other of that gathering.
Well, also there was a lot of water in front of the main stage. I remember
No,
that.
I know. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That gathering was miserable.
The mosh pit was like mud, pig shit, and a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for all those that got in there and did the mush pit and all that mush and whatever, because I know they walked out with. So what
I remember that once again you guys had like a prime time slot on the main stage on the first night, like after Vampiro, before Filthy Immigrants or something, right? Like it was kind of one of like
I do remember that.
I don't remember specific because I remember kind of the sun was just starting to go down.
Yeah.
I do remember that, and so it was this muddy ass slushy mess,
Oh.
and knowing Clifton the way I do, like I could see the misery on your face. I honestly I did, and you guys left early.
Mhm.
You guys left early that gathering, and you had I don't know if you want to say bitter or maybe just hurt. I wasn't sure what it was. So let me just ask you, do you remember how you felt at that time?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'd always remember that because that's the most emotion I've ever felt. It was like we prepared so much. We were going to do some crazy shit for the show, and my guys that I came in, we introduced a couple more people. I think that was when we introduced Knight and we introduced Crazy Casper at that time, which is still my boy. He wasn't really feeling it, but that's okay.
No, I know. Yeah, he was never a juggalo, but he's a hip hop kid.
He's a
But,
straight battle
yeah,
rapper, hip hop
yeah,
kid,
yeah,
never
yeah,
a juggalo.
yeah.
So he didn't understand.
No, I know. He and I had long talks about that on more than one occasion. Yeah.
And it's like when you have those different flavors, plus one of my guys sort of undercut my business. Some of the bootleg CDs of the tracks.
Okay.
There?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm dead
Oh,
serious.
yeah, I know.
No, that's an ass beat
I
right
don't know
there.
that story. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
That
don't
story.
know that.
That's a story that nobody knows because I
Man,
out of respect for my former friend, I didn't want to go there. But this is the first time you're hearing about it. Yeah, they printed up some CDs, brought it with them, and started to undercut sales at the farm.
Okay.
Selling behind my back. And so get it that, and then everything that's going on with the pig farm and the performance, all of that just accumulated in one big ball of rage that either I had a choice, either take it out on them or take it out on myself.
Okay.
I took it out on myself and
Okay.
started to walk away.
Okay. All right. So let's talk hiatus and cataclysmic. So again, at this time in history, I'm still kind of doing these annual shows and additional spot shows, and I would still bring in my friends occasionally who were regional or semi-regional, and this I'm talking about Absolute Power Tech 9 days when for real they would jump in cuts Tahoe or whatever, and they would drive from Kansas City and they would play at the venue, and then they would all jump back in the Tahoe and go home. So that's how old I am, Juggalos. And I'm not trying to big time nobody because Tech at that time was like $3,000. It wasn't a big deal to bring Tech, and it'd be 40 people there. So I would have like V or somebody come and open, and Dan the Saltine, like the same kind of crew of dudes I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, you were kind of like checked out.
Yeah.
Is that the right term?
Oh, that's the perfect time.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then I don't remember if you reached out to me or I reached out to you, to be dead honest. And I said, did you want to do another Wumph? And you said, okay, but I'm coming as Cataclysmic. Could you kind of, did you, I don't remember who reached out to who first, right?
I think it was you to me.
Okay. And so then that was Cataclysmic. And that was like again, I don't want to say a progression because it's not to me a progression, but it was a change or an update from kind of the Juggalo shit that we were.
Yeah, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
From the Juggalo to more serious hip hop.
It was just more of a conscious hip hop sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to test the waters with that. I wanted to stray away from the anger because once again, you always got that bitterness following you, and that will always be a part of that. I mean, I miss the love.
Yeah.
I missed the aspect, but it was just so jaunting. Everything that was connected to Kill a Cat was now tainted. And so I wanted to try to start new, start fresh, and grow. I've learned a couple of things since then. I've calmed down since then. I'm still crazy, but still, it's nice to do something that you can relate to. So I wanted to test it out, put it out there before I completely walked away.
Okay. And then I didn't plan this question, but we've been hanging out today, and so I asked you, and now I want to ask you on camera. So because it was kind of like where you said it, like I'm kind of getting reacclimated to kind of the Juggalo thing, and because it's been your first gathering since Mudalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Mudalo.
Right. So I just call it the Columbus.
No, what was the one? Wasn't that Kevin Rock? I thought you was.
No, he was never at Kevin Rock.
Nope.
Seriously.
Yeah.
This is my first one since.
Okay, so then that must have been a Wumph that
Oh yeah, no, he did Wumps after that. Yeah, as he was Cataclysmic. Remember? Yeah. So all right.
You never had a Ninja Squad at the Walls, though, did you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
misremembering stuff. Okay, all right.
All right. So, you said I kind of getting reacclimated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of brought up, like, I kind of skipped gatherings, just, having young kids or whatever life from 2010 to 2018 for me. And coming back in 18, for me, it kind of felt like the vibe had changed. And then I almost feel like the vibe has changed again since then even, right? And here we are, it's just a few years later. So without like being like negative or shitty about it, like would you say that the vibe is different than it was back then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like when we went, like 2003 was, it was like love, mad love everywhere.
Yeah.
It was crowded. It was a bunch of people. Nobody went without, because whatever anybody else had, they shared with one another. It was great. If you didn't have a place to stay, you hang out in somebody's tent, you go to sleep, yeah, they got you. It's nothing like it is. And I'm sure that there is a lot, but man, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people on one accord. You can't compare that.
Yeah.
Now the feeling is like it's not as many people. You know what I'm saying? Those juggalos that we grew up with and grown up, you know what I mean? They got kids with juggalos that are probably out here now. And I think the whole scenery's changed. And I'm gonna say it, since the split.
I know it.
Since the split.
I didn't egg them on, just so y'all know.
No, I'm gonna say this. Since the split, we done divvied it up.
Yeah.
Divvied it up, and it shouldn't be that way. We put separation in the Juggalo family, and it shouldn't be that way. To all those people who are concerned and who have a say in this, in that shit.
Thank you. All right. Let's talk new. Let's talk Clifton Derrell. It started with the mixtape, your first release on Stormrook, and then that led to the new album. So here's where actually I'm gonna do the 122nd of what I do. But you're all good. I'm gonna kind of share my thoughts with you live. Okay, so he submitted an album request for 120 seconds, and I thought it would be better to just do it in front of him. I feel that the Neva Mind U Me track was the perfect choice for the single, just based on like the vibe, and that was catchy. I think actually you and I might have talked about that before already.
Yeah.
So you sent the single to me before you sent the album, and I said to you at the time, like, you had said to me, I'm scared to release this album. It's different, blah blah blah. I don't know what you're gonna think, this and that. And I said, like, I like texted you and I said, what are you talking about? Like that sounds like fucking classic you to me. And you said, no, that's my point, is that the rest of the album is different from that.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting to hear when you sent me the rest of the album, I was waiting for it to be like you singing love songs and shit. Because when you tell me it's different, like I'm thinking that you're gonna completely change what you do, and or maybe do some poppy techno or what I was waiting for you to do some sort of weird, straight up change, right? So then I'm listening and it's just straight up hip hop, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about with it being changed? To me, classic hip hop, like Tribe, Diggable Planets, like that. I love that shit, and that is what it sounds like to me. Like, and I don't mean dated, I mean that, but that same sort of vibe. Okay, and if you don't know Tribe Called Quest or Diggable Planets, go fucking Google it right now.
Do that.
Or just hang yourself.
And then the love song came, and then the poppy song came, the poppy techno song. So I swear to God, I was like, I thought he changed the shit up, and then it's like straight hip hop for 4 tracks or something, right?
Right.
And then there's a love song, and then a poppy techno.
I try to ease you into it.
Right. So what I will say about the love song, and I said this to you earlier, right? Like, how's life, bro? I haven't seen you in a while. Man, I'm great. I'm married, and I said, like, I too am married to a hot girl, so I get it. Like, so I understand the love song, but that's not some shit I'm gonna spin.
No.
And the techno track is not stuff I'm gonna spin.
Absolutely not.
Right, but there's an audience out there for it. But basically, those are the 2 tracks where you kind of stray away from who and what you normally do. I wouldn't say that overall it's that big of a change. So those are the 2 that I probably like the least. But I understand them, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Everybody has that moment. Like, I guarantee you, there's gonna be some people that love the whole album. There's gonna be somebody that's gonna pick maybe one or two or three.
1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%.
I get that.
Yeah.
Well, while you have their attention, experiment a little. You know, I
Right.
wanted to see. Well, hey, look, I've never done a poppy track. Let me try this.
Right.
Is it really this easy?
Right. So then, and again, we've gone long here too, but it's the fact that Cliff is an old friend, man. So in reality, we're just kind of reminiscing on some very like deep core memories for me. Recording in my basement, like fuck, man, like
right.
that shit means so much to me.
That
Like,
track with
and
everyone.
then if you are watching this and you ever played my show, and that includes, I saw Illegal yesterday. I haven't seen her in a long time. That includes you, girl. That includes you, girl. I don't know you that well, but you came to my house and you fucking played my show. My eternal grateful love for all motherfucking time for that shit.
Yeah.
And like the guys from Lunatics, Dan the Saltine, his brother Jeff. I mean, I could go the local kids, Slit, the guys with UGV, my boy Adam. Like, for those of you who grew, you know, like I've had some ups and downs with Grew over the years, but I still ultimately to this day will love him eternally for coming to play those shows. It means the world to me. And that 3-day stretch of recording in my basement, dude, like that shit was so fun.
How long was that fucking track though?
5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
5?
Maybe I'll put at the end of this and really piss people off. So, all right. I'll keeping on the album. Kind of that's where I was going with this. Is it kind of pulled some nostalgia heartstrings for me, because you got Casper on that track, who we were talking about earlier, with kind of the tribute to Big Chris, and
those reminisce.
Yeah. So again, like just a heartstring track. Big Chris is my guy too. You know that, and so
I miss him so much.
yeah, man. So that was fantastic. And then the other thing is the stay up, keep up, and again, when I host stages and sometimes on this channel, I get real preachy with my shit, and my success solo message, and I kind of feel like the stay up, keep up track is in line with the success solo message, and so that one kind of means a lot to me too. So there, that is my 120 seconds in 11 minutes review of what I felt of that of your new album. So the new album is called Self-Employed. I don't know why I blanked on it.
Self-Employed.
Yes, and the mixtape prior to that was Job Hunt. Right.
Get it.
Right. So, what is next for Clifton Derrell?
The next project is Make It Make Sense. It's given the world and the state that it's in right now and how things are just not the way they should be. I'm just throwing a question out to whoever wants to listen. Make it make sense. And in these tracks, I'm trying to make it make sense. So good luck.
Okay, and then I always kind of try to leave space at the end here for plugs and whatever else you want to throw
out. Let's see. I'm only playing it by ear right now, so
okay.
Make It Make Sense is like the next project that's on the way. It'll probably be out sometime next year.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay. All right, and then V and I went crazy long about the bars thing, but your contributions on bars, and where that's going, could you kind of map out where you see it or where you hope it goes?
When we came out with bars, I was like, wow, this is new. I barely know anyone except me.
Mm-hmm.
I made the scenes digital on stage. Tierra was a enigma to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, what's this rapper actor doing, man?
Right.
Like, so before I agreed to it, I had to go back and do my research and see all these dudes. And I'm like, wow, I just see a picture of where I once was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, let's go. My contribution hopefully will be a learning experience, a craft and molding experience.
Hopefully stay in the group.
Yeah.
Don't become a superstar diva and you want to leave and do your own thing. Like,
I hope you're not talking about me, because you're the one that brought me back into this. I was more than happy to be that married dude. Sitting in the
my apologies. my time's up.
But I just want to bring that lyricism, bring that mysticism, and bring that, just all in all, have fun with the track no matter what happens.
All All right, so I'm gonna end it with: there's a chance, especially if you're younger, that you don't know who Killer Cat was, and I would just suggest. I mean, is that shit findable on YouTube still? I don't know.
Beats
Yeah.
me.
Oh my god. Man, like if you like, and I'm talking about like the pro juggalo shit that is not so pandering is what he did. So that's the old shit, and then he did the Cataclysmic, which is definitely more.
Contemporary.
Yeah, contemporary hip hop, is that a thing?
I guess it is now.
Right. And again, check out the new one as Clifton Derrell. And yeah, again, share your thoughts. Fucking post below. Maybe you got a cool memory about seeing him at a gathering when you were younger, and now you can catch up with him again. I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna do a format change on 120 seconds, and it starts here at the gathering. And these interviews are hopefully gonna mean a lot to me and maybe change things for what I'm doing too. Right?
Yeah,
So Clifton Derrell, formerly Killer Cat of Stormbrook Entertainment. As always, I'm Stockwell. Until next time, thanks everybody.
Beats y'all.
Lego lovers for life.
Yeah, I don't go there.
Right.
I don't fuck with him anymore. I used to like him, but I don't fuck with him.